Hello, friends. Welcome to Just Dandy Podcast. I'm Elizabeth, your host. Today we're talking about gut health, mental balance, and nutrition. And I have you some tips that will help you along the way. So let's first look at our gut health. By balancing our tummy, we balance our sleep, and we also benefit with mental balance as well. So healthy nutrition is where it all starts. You are what you eat, so to speak. So let me give you some tips on some staples that you can find year-round. There are 10 staples that no matter what time of the year, you will always be able to find them. They're readily available in the grocery store. And this list will be available in the description box as well. We have apples, we have celery, onions, oranges, bananas, potatoes, as well as celery, grapes, and carrots, and lemons. So by adding those into our diet, we're going to get added antibiotic treatment. We're also going to get those things that are our folic acids that we need. We get our vitamin C, of course. We get a lot of potassium in these particular foods, and you can cook them just about any way or eat them raw. You can introduce them into your drink and really just level your diet. Now, we all remember ants on a log, so we can definitely take celery, put some peanut butter on there, add some raisins if we like. So now we have our protein. So we're getting those healthy antioxidants and complex carbohydrates. Now, with it being fall of the year, we can all readily find apple cider. Now, here in the South, apple cider really is truly just pressed pulp of apples, and we get the juice, and when it oxidizes, it turns into this beautiful color, and therefore we get apple cider. We can add spices to it, and we can get molded apple cider. Where most people believe in things being fermented, apple cider is not a fermented drink. It's actually fresh juice that we make here. Now, for it to be bottled and carried, some places may require it to be pasteurized, and therefore there has been some heat added to it. But it goes through a fermenting state, and therefore it's very healthy and nutritious. It's great for those who are diabetic as well, and it helps with blood pressure. As I said, with complex carbohydrates, you get longer haul, more steam, more stability for a longer period of time, more sustainability. Okay, so let's think about sleep and our mental balance. If we use Passionflower, it's a beautiful purple flower. It is also called Maypop, and because of the fruits, they would always come out in May, and the kids would like kick them or stomp on them, and they make this pop sound. So they got the name Maypop because they come out in May, and they commonly pop when you step on them. Now, with Passionflower, what a lot of people don't know, the oils do have a common effect, but the great thing about them, treating attention deficit hyperactive disorder, they're great for menopause. They are great for heart rhythm problems. They're excellent for mild pain, and they're good for hemorrhoids too. So, in addition to treating anxiety, which will also promote sleep, and you won't feel hung over like you do with most things that you take that aid in helping you to go to sleep. If you need to apply it to the skin for like burn pain or hemorrhoids, brew it into a tea. And then, of course, you would place that on cotton pads for hemorrhoids, and then you can also put it onto a washcloth and place it on the forehead. This will help with any kind of headache or pain, and it tastes delicious, so you could drink it as a tea as well as take it as a capsule. Now, you can find these at dandelinesoap.com. I pack the whole herb, I ground it up, and I pack them into capsules. There are no fillers involved, and it is truly the whole herb that you are enjoying, and it's readily used and readily available. You can find them on the website in 60 count as well as 90 count, and I can even make them into 120 if you like. You can find Passionflower in the marketplace as a dietary supplement, but if you're unsure if it has fillers in it or not, just contact me or order them on the website. Now let's think about our mental apathy. With mental apathy, we have to have good information coming in, and that radiates outward appearance for us and makes us feel good. So this is the way I want you to think about this. Sometimes you just have to switch the channel. And what I mean by that is I have loved ones and friends and neighbors, and if they phone, a lot of times they may be overstimulating you with information about what's ailing them, what's going wrong, what's not good. They have their aches, they have their pains, and they're sharing them with you. And next thing you know, you start feeling bad and you downward, and you're talking about all your ailments and all your pains and all your aches and things of that nature. So sometimes we just have to tell our friend, could I call you back? I have something in the oven. Listen, I've got just a couple more minutes. I'm expecting the call. I'm going to have to go. Things of this nature. Just change the channel. And that also serves with what we watch. Information coming in is surely to reflect outward. As my mama always said, pretty is as pretty does. Well, that serves the same when we're getting information from outer extremities. There's so much news and chaos and murder and mayhem that takes place on the television screen. So sometimes just turning it off or changing the channel is the healthiest thing that you can do, trying to keep those things out. So let me offer you a few tips that you might just find interesting that I do for me. One, I found that it worked better if I simply did not read my email, answer the phone, or return any phone calls that were not vitally important until after 11 a.m. Anything prior to 11 a.m. I used to tackle my largest task, get done what I really need to get done, and anything that I need to get situated to a certain point. Then at 11 a.m., I will check my messages, I will check my email, and I will return phone calls. Unless those calls are coming in right then and it's a customer, I don't answer the phone. I don't check the email. I don't read my texts on my messages for my phone. Anything. Totally don't do anything. It changed my life. This was advice given to me by a mentor, and it made me mentally healthy. It made me more productive, which made me feel good. And because I was able to get an adequate nutritional meal in my body before that period of time, I was more alert, more productive, and I felt better. I felt happier, healthier, and I slept. These are so vitally important for our survival, for our mental apathy, for our gut health, and keeping us strong and feeling good at all times. So take on the advice that my mentor shared with me and try it on. It did take me a while. Try it for 3 days. If it's effective, do it for 5 days, and just keep doing it, and it will eventually become a habit, and you'll find yourself on this routine and being more productive and feeling better every single day. I assure you, you will not regret having made that decision. Now, by all means, if it's an emergency, if it's important, and it must be handled right away, then you've got to do what you've got to do. But on a regular basis, try to adopt it as a great habit. Let me offer you another tip. Reading is essential. If you are growing in knowledge, our mind must always be exercised. Even if we're disabled and our body's not able to move and function as it used to, we can't do exercises, we can't get out like we used to, you can always exercise the mind. There is so much audio, tapes, and information and knowledge available to us. There are still books being written every single day. On the average of 200,000 books are being produced a day, whether it be by ebooks or written, published, printed books. That information is constantly going. And if you're growing in your mind, it's a lot healthier. So if you must use your phone, select something like Spotify or some kind of audio. You have Amazon Audio, and you can listen to podcasts as well. You can also download books and listen to them. You can put in a set of earplugs and listen to them, a headset. There's so much available to you. If you haven't updated your library card, knock the dust off of it and update it, even if you're disabled. The wonderful thing is you can phone the library. The librarian will be glad to assist you and suggest some new books or even some books on the topics that you like. They will be easily drawn for you. They'll pull them out, and you can either send a friend by, or that can be the next thing on your thing to do list. The very next day, you're going to wake up, you're going to be super excited, and go by the library and pick up your books. Grow in knowledge. Make that your new hobby. Maybe you whittle. Maybe you tool leather. Perhaps you are a crocheter or someone who sews. But there are people who make reading books a hobby, and they are very, very knowledgeable in many things. Did you know, and this is a fact, if you read 30 minutes a day for 365 days per year, that equivalates to 2 years of college. Can you imagine? Only 30 minutes a day. So if you increase that to an hour, you could literally have a 4-year degree in 1 year of just reading, just pure knowledge. And that is beneficial to your health. You're going to learn so much great information. You're going to read stories that are going to make you laugh. And if you cry a little, that's healthy too. It's a great outlet, and it's a great way to hear some great things going on in the world and people and technology and diversity. There's so many wonderful things available to you. You are still a creative mind. No matter what age you are, your mind never stops growing. Your body does. We get older, but our mind can stay forever young, keep us energized and productive in our everyday lives. So let's do a recap. Just Dandy, Elizabeth here, recommended that we look after our gut health, and shared 10 staples that you can purchase year-round. Additionally, I recommended Passionflower to incorporate, not only to benefit your sleeping, do away with anxiety, but also to help with you getting proper rest, and it can sharpen your mental apathy, especially if you're ADHD, and keep you calm without feeling hungover. Additionally, we talked about changing the channel, getting away from negative input and growing our mind in knowledge and staying healthy in that way. Rest when you can, and when you are during your wake hours, let me give you one bonus tip that I do. I used to think that I had to clean my entire house, that everything had to be spick and span, everything had to be in its place at all times. And I learned also from a mentor that that's not exactly a healthy way to go. So let me give you a tidbit. Whenever you have junk mail coming in, do away with it immediately. Don't even bother yourself or lose focus and concentration by going through things that are driving you and pushing you to make a purchase, and it's not of use to you and you can't benefit from it. It's filling up all of your valuable real estate property by making your house smaller, by adding these things in there that you just simply don't get around to using or you have no use for anymore. Discard the junk mail and move along. If you have a box packed up or items that are sitting about and you simply just haven't taken the time, I assure you, with incorporating healthy gut by eating good healthy foods, getting adequate rest, and changing the channel, you will be a lot more productive. So take those boxes or that item and go through it right then. Set aside the things that you don't want anymore And if they're trash, of course, throw them away. But if there's something that you think someone will benefit from, donate it right away. There are church outreaches. There are thrift stores anymore. Goodwill, and the missionary will even come and pick them up. All you have to do is call and put it on the schedule. If these are boxed items and they're not large items, you'll need to drop them off yourself. I will tell you that because I've done it, and I've already gotten that information directly from the horse's mouth. Just try to clean out, declutter, and organize as you go along, and not try to feel overwhelmed and get frustrated by trying to do it all at one time. It's a lot healthier. The additional things that you can find that have a use that someone else will benefit from. Bear in mind, you've already spent the money, so you don't need the money. Are they being used? Could someone else benefit from them? Or are they just plain out of date, no good, no use for them, and they need to be discarded? Those are the 3 tips that I use as my guide in staying organized, de-stress, lose the frustration, and move on. Some things we just have to simply let go and let God. That's the best way to go about it. Now, if you guys would like to check out the Passionflower, go to dandelionsoap.com. I'll put the link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this, definitely hit the like, share it with a friend, share it with a neighbor. Just hit the share button and post it on your Facebook or any of your social media channels. And by all means, make sure you follow Just Dandy Podcast. Each time I put up a new podcast, your Audible newsletter for Dandelion Soap Herb Shop, you'll get a notification. And I really appreciate it. You could help me out a whole bunch simply by sharing the podcast. And make sure that you check out the blog on the website, or you can check out the newsletter by signing up to receive it. Although the podcast consists of a lot more information, sometimes just a little bit of good read is all you need. Until the next podcast, this is Elizabeth, and I want you all to have a Just Dandy day. Bye.